Hey guys, what's up everybody? This is Suresh from Mine is a Monkey coming at you guys with another episode of Let's Check Out Some Diecast. Today I have the latest assortment of the Fast and the Furious Premium series lined up for you guys. So, Fast and the Furious Premium. So, what makes a Hot Wheels car a premium, right? Not RLC premium, but like retail premium, right? So, it's got to be metal on metal and with real riders. And, it goes without saying at that level, and at this price point, generally, they have very well detailed tampos for both the headlights and the tail lights. And sometimes it might even include some minor detailing like the tailplate and some fun details on the tailplate, things like that. So that's like the premium Hot Wheels, right? And these are going to be like the best version that you can get retail. Anything more premium than this, it might more likely be a Redline Club offering, right? Now, when it comes to Fast and the Furious premium series, I think they have been around since 2019, right? So when I was like doing some read up, I figured that they've been going strong for 2019, 2020, and 2021. And it was heavily rumored that that's the end of the Fast and the Furious because we had seen a good deal of castings by then, right? So there were at least like 5 plus 4 plus 4, that's like 13 to 14 mixes, right? I said 14 because I'm not really sure if 2021 had 4 or 5 mixes. We by then we had like about 13 to 14 mixes, and folks were already beginning to get a little tired because there were so many premium Hot Wheels to collect, like Pop Culture, Hot Wheels Premium, and Boulevards and Car Culture. And honestly, the hobby was becoming a little too costly to keep up. Not to mention the Target exclusive twin pack of car culture and team transport and whatnot, right? So, and there were also some kind of like repeats that were seen in Fast and the Furious. So, people almost thought that they had had enough of the Fast and Furious models, right? So, in 2022, honestly, I don't know if it was like, popular opinion or it was like COVID related supply chain delays or something. 2022, we did not see any of these mixes, right? So this is 2024, and that's like the fifth year of Fast and Furious. So it started in 2019, 20, 21, 22. They didn't have anything. 23 and 24. So they've been going on for like 6 years, but this is officially like the fifth year of their releases, right? If you consider 2022. So just wanted to provide a little bit of history there. And recent mixes have been really interesting, right? Because they've been bringing out a lot of tooling. This one, for instance, is definitely a very good mix, with the exception of that custom Acura Integra Sedan, right? We'll talk about that exception in a bit. But all of these models, namely the Toyota Land Cruiser FJ43, the Porsche 911 Carrera, Rally Sport 3.8, and the Land Rover Defender 90, and the Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL, they are all new castings, like new toolings, and like they're making their debut appearances in the Fast and the Furious line, right? And so the reason I said, with the exception of the custom Acura Integra Sedan GSR, basically this model, right? This is actually a repeat, but not in the fullest sense, because Mattel kind of introduced some, new wheels on this. They look literally the same like the previous release. I think the previous release was probably in 2023. I'm going to say 2023, right? And, coincidentally enough, that was also one of 5, right? But the thing is, this year, this repeat has been with a smaller variation of these wheels, right? At least that's what I saw. Of course, there are like different base codes, but pretty much decals, decoration wise, the color theme, tone, everything taken into consideration, it's pretty much the same except for those wheels. So that's why I said, pretty much with the exception of that Acura Integra Sedan, pretty much all the other forecastings are new toolings. So, it's interesting. when they bring out new castings for collectors to collect, and it's kind of a letdown when they keep doing repeats, like with some minor variations in the decor or in the wheels or stuff like that. Because as a collector, I wouldn't think that I'm like paying premium price for just the same model with a new pair of wheels. At least that's my 2 cents, right? But anyway, it was still nice to kind of like find these as a set in my local store, and could just kind of like, I was very excited to kind of open them up and show you guys. So let's go. So at 1 of 5, we have the custom Acura Integra Sedan GSR. Yep. So this is definitely a fan favorite casting. I have seen a lot of my fellow collectors go gaga over the Acura Integra Sedan, right? And definitely, check that livery out. I mean, it reminds you of classic Fast and the Furious movies, right? Like I'm talking 1, 2, and 3, right? So that's a pretty cool model. And even with regards to the details, right? The place where it says 11, that's also very similar to the previous repeat. So the only difference is these wheels, they are the mini version of the previous release. So that's pretty much what we get for, a variation, right? But let's set that there. All right. At number 2, we have a new casting, which is the Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. I mean, it was pretty surprising, that this casting was left behind initially by a lot of collectors. And then literally Lamley, John from Lamley, he literally posted a video saying that, are you guys for real? I mean, this is like the coolest video, coolest one in the mix. And, I mean, it's kind of very surprising to see that, people are leaving this behind and everything. And then kind of, I think it immediately rose up in popularity, right? But, anyway, I think it's a pretty clean looking model. The Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. It's a pretty clean looking model, and, just like how it comes in the movies, right? And it's a nice thing, you will actually notice that this, window pane is actually not fully closed. It's actually like partially open there. So that's a fun touch. Probably, I mean, somebody was in the movie when this in this car, probably somebody was doing a shootout of some sorts, right? Because that's how these action scenes are sequenced, right? There's like a high adrenaline chase or whatever, right? So it's a pretty cool casting. So I like it for the very elegant looking, simple, paint job. So because Mercedes is always like a mark of class, right? So there we have the Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. So this is a new casting and definitely, rising in popularity thanks to Lamley. At number 3, we have the Porsche 911 Carrera Rally Sport 3.8. Now, I tried to see, because because the Fast and the Furious lineup has had a history of repeats, I tried to see if, this model was a repeat. And I was surprised to see that this particular 3.8 version, I don't think we have seen it earlier. So whenever I'm like searching for Porsche 911 Carrera, this is what I'm mostly seeing. But this is the Rally Sport 2.7 version, and it definitely has some visible differences, like the tail and everything, right? So the front looks pretty similar to me, right? So yeah, there you see. So it looks pretty similar, but definitely some modifications with regards to the tail, right? So most likely there's a pretty clear-cut variation in the specification, something to do with the engine capacity or something like that, right? So I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that this is actually a new tooling as well. The Porsche 911 Carrera Rally Sport 3.8. Let me just quickly open it here for you. Yeah, I almost thought this was the same as, the one that we saw in Boulevard, Hot Wheels Boulevards a short while ago. So, but pretty neat looking Porsche right there. And I think paint theme wise, I think these guys share a very similar color, right? I'm gonna say almost same, but probably to someone who's like much more sensitive to colors, they might say that they're like a tad different, right? But all in all, a very cool looking piece right there, right? At number 4, we have the Toyota Land Cruiser FJ43. And, this is definitely a fan favorite casting, right? Because, it's Toyota, it's FJ Cruiser and everything. So, and I really like how the silver on the wheels pop, I mean, it's very sharp, and that metal flake red, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And, for some reason, I thought both this one and this one were actually repeats of previous castings that we have seen. And, imagine my delight when I found that no, I mean, these are indeed like new tooling. So that was pretty cool, right? So I hope you're able to get in on these details. The Toyota labeling near the headlights, and, pretty fun car. Will look definitely, it'll look very great in a display. And the last one in this mix, 5 of 5, is the Land Rover Defender 90, right? So previously we have seen the Land Rover Defender, I think that was a series 110 or something. But this one, as you can see, is a Land Rover Defender 90, right? So, and pretty much, it wasn't too wrong of me to assume that we had seen this casting because the Land Rover Series 110, that is also the same full black, right? So I kind of like, I didn't feel too bad thinking that this was a repeat, but then, I mean, it ended up being a completely different casting, right? So I think together with the 110, they might make a very nice pair on a display, right? So there we have the 5 castings of the latest assortment of the Fast and Furious premium mix. So which one's your favorite? I think I'm going to go with the Porsche because I'm a sucker for Porsche. And, next is going to be the Land Rover, and then the Toyota FJ Cruiser. And definitely, I mean, for a new tooling, that Mercedes right there, it's a pretty awesome casting. And I'm very interested in seeing what other lines of premium Hot Wheels that might make a reappearance. And I also noticed something very cool. So just at the back of the cards, right? It pretty much picks up, what is the movie this was actually a part of, right? So I was pretty right when I said this takes you, back all the way, like the early Fast and the Furious movie. So this literally is a car from the first movie. And the Mercedes is actually from Tokyo Drift. Wow, now I gotta go back and watch that movie and find out where exactly this one comes from, right? And then the Porsche is also, again, from the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. And the Toyota Land Cruiser is actually from the Fate of the Furious. And the Land Rover Defender 90 is from F9, the Fast Saga. So that was something pretty cool. Maybe chances are that, they've been having this tradition for a while now. But, I just kind of like found it. And I thought it was like a pretty cool detail to share with you guys. So let me know what's your favorite in the comments. And till I meet you guys next time, this is Suresh signing off. Rock on and stay awesome, everyone. Bye.